look around and see what the Lord has done for me, my soul has to cry out. Hallelujah. Thank God for blessing me. Lord, 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 Lord. And God was happy when I saw someone he hadn't seen in a long time, my sister Deliverance. Thank God for her. I'm with her, and I see they call him Nico, but that's Brother John. Then I looked out there and I saw Mother Farmer. But I can get it out. Maybe about 40 minutes left. It stays up in the end. It's very loud. Well, you know, y'all can't go down with that. In the book of Daniel, the first verse, or the first chapter, I'm sorry. And it says that in the year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, into Jerusalem, and besieged it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into the hand with part of the vessels of the house of God, which he carried unto the land of Shinar, to the house of his God. And he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his God. Let me skip down here. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, were well favored, and skillful in all wisdom, and cunning, and knowledge, and understanding, science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. The sixth verse. Now among these were of the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, to whom the prince of the eunuch gave names, for he gave unto Daniel the name Belteshazzar, and to Hananiah of Shadrach, and to Mishael of Meshach, to Azariah of Abednego. But in the 8th verse it says, but Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs, praise the Lord, much that he might not defile himself. Praise the Lord. That's all I'm going to read. I'm sure many of you know the story. Praise the Lord, Daniel. But I simply want to talk from this text on today. How to pass a test and don't cheat. How to pass a test and don't cheat. Now, you know, in our world today, we're suffering from a population explosion, and not only that, there are famines throughout the world, and earthquakes everywhere. We got deceitful cults. You know, people have been deceived, and many of those right out of the Christian church. Amen. But Christ has, how many know that Christ has a prophetic word? And it rings out, you know, it rings out in Matthew 24, 5 and 8. He said, many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will mislead many. And you will be hearing wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not frightened, for those things must take place. But that is not the end. For nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdoms, and in various places there will be famine and earthquakes. But all these things are merely the beginning of birth pain. Yes. What a birth pain. Disorder and distressful times and incidents. We are living in some distressful times today. And a person can walk up into a church, and this is the second time, and kill 26, 27, I forgot how many more people, just shoot them. These are distressful times. So there is a time. There's a hunger. A hunger for prophetic information. I need to hear from the Lord. Are y'all with me? There's a rise in the number of fortune tellers and soothsayers, mediums, which people want to know what the future holds. Also, there's an imbalance among the students of prophecy. Many of them can't get along themselves on what this means and what that means. Some have even set dates concerning the end time. The events such as the rapture and the second coming of Christ. But Jesus said only his Father knows this. Yeah, but these times will occur. Jesus told his disciples it was not for them to know anyway, the time and neither the epoch that the Father has fixed by his own authority. God overall scheme, his plan, his program. How many know that God has a plan for you? God has a plan for the world. Am I right about it? We will gain a better understanding of God's prophesied program, especially in the book of Daniel, where we are now. And God dealing with man, and how God dealt with man when he abused his freedom of choice. Praise the Lord. I mean, everybody got a freedom of choice. Am I right about that? Praise the Lord. But God has a law. God has laid down a law. He gave the laws to, again, many. The law, although the law could not save anybody, but to express what God was doing was to express to man or expose man to his sinfulness and to show his need of salvation by grace through Jesus Christ our Lord, having faith in Jesus Christ. Are y'all with me? Amen. The law also provided a standard by which the nation of Israel could regulate its religion and social behavior. People not to act a fool. People not to act any kind of way they want to. Am I right about it? But God has a standard. Are y'all with me? That he has set for all of us. Now, his chosen people, the Israelites, again, did not obey the Mosaic law, but after that they suffered for their disobedience also. They went into captivity. You see, God desired client nation, a nation that would obey him, people that would obey him. Praise the Lord. And they would do his bidding and what he desired for them to do. But man exercised his own will. Again, God give us all a will. Am I right about it? Amen. We have a will. Our volition. We do those things that we desire to do, but God wants us to do what he wants us to do. Amen. They went into captivity, Israel as well as Judah, because that was, as you can recall, that was some political disagreements among the two, and that was a split. One was Israel, and one was Judah. They split because of turmoil. Hello? Amen. They both were defeated by foreign armies. Israel was defeated by Syria, and Judah by Babylon. They were in exile for 70 years. God provided a way for the Hebrews to return to their native land. If you read Ezra in the book of Ezra and also in the book of Nehemiah, it tells us about it. Am I right about it? But even after their deliverance from them, they yet rebelled against God. Isn't that something? There was no more prophetic revelation given for 400 years. 400 years. Isn't that something? Until John the Baptist, the birth of John the Baptist was pronounced. And Jesus Christ, of course, also. Am I right about it? Amen. But John and Jesus, they lived and they died under they lived and ministered and died under the Mosaic law. When Christ was resurrected, God revealed a new stage in his plan. Somebody with God does not change. Yeah, but God does not change in his attributes, but God makes changes in his plans. Am I right about it? Praise the Lord. In the way that he does things. The church in the Old Testament time that we are in today, this is the church age. The church age, it was a mystery to the Old Testament saints. They didn't know about this, the church. It was hidden from them and revealed only to the apostles in the New Testament, especially to Paul in the book of Ephesians. Praise the Lord, that the Gentile nation would become fellow heirs. There's no more distinction between Jews and Gentiles in the church age. Right. I wish I had somebody. Amen. Praise the Lord. I'm an heir of salvation also. If you're saved, you're an heir of salvation. Everyone who accepts Jesus as Savior by faith become an equal member of the family of God. And an heir of his promises. All the promises of God in Jesus are yea, and in him amen. Praise the Lord. So in our context, and I'm coming on, history throughout tells of foreign nations and invading armies, taking people captive and transporting them to different territories unfamiliar. Praise the Lord. Separating family members from one another, sometimes for a lifetime. For we know Daniel himself was taken, praise the Lord, from his family by a Babylonian military leader who had surrounded Jerusalem in the 7th century BC. And as a young boy, he was uprooted from his nation and land of Judah and planted in a wickedness of Babylon. It started to remind a really godly person, living person, that reminded us that we're in this world. I'm right about it, but you see, this world is not our home. I said this world is not our home. Are y'all with me? I mean, we may be ingrained in the things of the world, but you see, this is not our destiny. Praise the Lord. Hello, somebody. Y'all don't go to sleep on me. Praise the Lord. Many of Daniel's experiences, I want to tell you, recorded in the book that bears his name, it speaks a great deal about God and how we are to respond to him. You know, we'll listen to a lot of people before we listen to God. A lot of people in the church will listen to everybody, but instead of getting in the Bible and hear what God has to say about the matter. So it speaks a great deal about God and how we're to respond to him, praise the Lord, to his strategy in human history, those we come in contact with. Now, historically, if y'all would just bear with, the Lord gave Jehoiakim of Judah into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar. The king of Babylon. Along with some of the vessels of the house of God. They took some of the vessels, some of the things of the vessels of the house of God, and they placed it in Shinar, which is an ancient name for Babylon. Are y'all with me? Into the house of their God in 605 BC. After the battle of Carchemish, that was found, but that was thought between two rivers, that was the Euphrates River and the Orontes River. That was a battle that was fought, and Nebuchadnezzar almost annihilated the Egyptian army. All right? During the conflict, and as a result of the victory, the land of the south of Babylon, all Syria and Palestine to the border of Egypt fell into the hand of this new conqueror. Oh yes, he began doing things real quickly. He began to move real quickly. Are y'all with me? Praise the Lord. Yes, he began to force the submission of Jehoiakim along with other kings and the kings that were in that area. He overtook and overthrew everybody and took control. Praise the Lord. It was no contest, and that was not a contest with the control of the leading cities around Nebuchadnezzar. But one thing that he was not satisfied, just again overtaking the cities and take control of the leading cities, but he desired the achievement of the young men of Judah. Are y'all with me? The achievements of young men, he wanted to relocate them in his government and as his government personnel. Praise the Lord. And they were the young men that he desired. And when you talk about youth in the Hebrew language, the youth could be anywhere from 13, 14, and 15 years old. Can you imagine that he desiring these young men, and they had to be of royal descent? Are y'all with me? Of noble descent. Not any young men, not any young man wearing his pants down halfway his butt. No. They had to have some skills about that. Hello, somebody. Y'all get quiet on. Now, those that had the pants halfway, they were not considered. But he wanted the finest of the young men. You see, we have to be careful of the cost, as I said, on everything that's happening today, because that's exactly what the devil is trying to do. The devil is he's confronting, he's trying to get those young people out of the church. Those that have been taught the ways of God, how to live for y'all ain't with me for God. How you're supposed to live for God. But the devil is very cunning. I'm right about it. He's a schemer, and he's trying to get those beautiful young ladies. And I heard that what Nebuchadnezzar wanted, he wanted those young men that were good looking. Hello, somebody. Praise the Lord. He wanted the finest of the young men of Judah. Among those were Daniel and his three friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Praise the Lord. I want you to know that Babylon was a great city also. It had about 500,000 population. Yes, but they had also false gods. They had Marduk, Nebo, and Ishtar. Praise the Lord. And the river Euphrates, ran almost center of the nation of Babylon. Praise the Lord. But I want you to know that these young men had to face a test. Praise the Lord. A grave test in there because they were born as monotheistic people. Praise the Lord. Y'all with me? But you see, where they were planted at was people that were monotheistic. They had many gods, but the Hebrew only served one God. Am I right about it? I wish I had somebody. Praise the Lord. So he ordered Ashpenaz, the chief of the officials, to bring in some of the sons of Israel, some with royal descent and other candidates, nobles for the king's service. Certainly if the king, if heathen nations don't want just anybody, certainly God does not just want anybody. I wish I had something. And when I say anybody, I'm talking about acting any kind of way. Am I right about it? Praise the Lord. So this son of many got a conviction on today? Praise the Lord. I'm living for the Lord, and in spite of it and everything else, I'm gonna live for him. Praise the Lord. I'm gonna live for him until I die. No, I will not get caught up in the world condition, the worldly condition of the worldly ways. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Just look on your TV. I'm all right about it. Because we are so ingrained again with the world. We have to really be careful how we live this life. We have to be careful how we walk the walk and talk the talk. Hello, somebody. Praise the Lord. I want you to know that, again, they had a choice. Praise the Lord. Are y'all with me? And I want you to know that we all have a choice. It's a specific criteria for selecting these Hebrew boys for training to become servants. They were not to have any physical or mental handicap. Yeah, Hebrew, again, they were to be teenagers without physical defect. They had to be good looking. Y'all with me? Lord, they had to manifest intelligence in every branch of wisdom. No, young people, don't tell me that you can't get it when you're young. No. God will endow you with wisdom just like he endowed me with wisdom. Am I right about it? He endowed you with understanding just like he endowed anybody else. But you got to be as Daniel was. Am I right about it? You got to put your mind to it. Am I right about it? Praise the Lord. For God I live, and for God I die. Praise the Lord. Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were endowed with understanding and having discerning knowledge. They had to have the ability to serve in the king's court. Praise the Lord. I want you to know that, oh yeah, the devil is trying to test all of us. I wish I had somebody. How deep is your conviction? Do you have a conviction to say, no? I won't do as I want to do, but I got to do it the way the Lord said do it. Oh, glory to God. They were put on a rigorous course. Oh, yeah, of training. Praise the Lord. You know, it's like your bodybuilders now. You get on a rigorous course of training your muscles. You want abs. Am I right about it? Oh, yeah, you want to build your body and have some tone to yourself. Well, I think we need some spiritual toning also. Can you see? I think they will put on an educational course that will cover 3 years in their lives. They will have instructions in literature and language. Oh yeah, of the Chaldean or Babylonian language. Praise the Lord, observed in Babylonian philosophy, religion and magic, astrology, science, and medicine. Praise the Lord. They had to learn all this in the primary language of the Babylonians, which was called Aramaic. Praise the Lord. I want you to remember one thing. Praise the Lord. If you belong to God, you ought to make him known to the world and let the world know that, oh yeah, that you belong to God. I heard they used to sing the song, my whole body belongs to God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. You got to hold on. I said you got to hold on. And I made a statement, they were monotheistic. They said only one God. Oh yeah, but I look at how this was done and how that they tried to brainwash. And that's what the devil intends to do to the people today. Try and brainwash you. It's the way the world does today. They try and brainwash all the people of God. Now, if God said it, then I believe it, and that settles it. Say yeah. Say yeah. And the purpose of all of this, the word of God, the purpose of all of this was to get into the mind of the young boys. Get into their minds and get them to change their religion. Get them to change their way of walking. Change their way of talking. I wish I had somebody. Oh yeah, we have to be careful of what we look at. We have to be careful of what we listen to. Am I right about it? See ya! You got to be careful. of the Hebrew boys. Praise the Lord. He appointed them to a daily ration of his choice of foods and his wine that he drank. Well, somebody said, well, what's wrong with that? Well, you see, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, along with Daniel, felt that that was going to corrupt them. Praise the Lord, defile them. And I heard Daniel say, I will not defile myself. Praise the Lord. Can you see? Again, they were monotheistic. The present was again the Hebrew youth to convert to polytheism. Oh yeah, you got some people that sit in the church. I wish I had somebody. You got people that will sit in the church. Oh yeah, they don't want to admit it, but in their lifestyle, they're polytheistic. Say yeah, they're straddling the fence. But I'm going to serve the Lord until I die. I'm going to serve him. I heard Elijah say, how long hold ye between two opinions? And God be God, then serve him. Then a bell, then serve him. See, yeah. Oh, yeah, to serve the false gods. Adopt the fact that I'm a friend of them. I don't know about you, but James began to tell us that any man that's a friend of the world is an enemy to God. You can serve God and mammon. Can you see? Do you love one? Oh, come on, get with me. Hate the other. You please the one and despise the other. You can't serve two masters. Say yeah! Say yeah! You want to pass the test? Yeah, Lord. You want to read out a good book? Say yeah! Lord. Yeah! Read what the Bible says. I know the Bible is right. Say yeah! I know the Bible is right. If the Bible is right, somebody got to be wrong. Say yeah! I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna hold on. Yeah! Now the reason Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did not want to eat the king's food because there was a great possibility that that food had been offered, oh yeah, to idols. It was leftover food that was presented to idols, and to eat of their food was to corrupt themselves. Praise the Lord. Oh yeah, and you got to mind Daniel. Praise the Lord, no more than 13, 14, or 15. He had to have been, praise the Lord, taught the word of God. As saints, a sheep of parents, we got a job to do. We got to teach our children the word of God. We got to let them know. Praise the Lord, there's only one God. I said there's only one God. Can you see? Even the three personages, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. They're all one. Say yeah. Say yeah. I'm serving a God let me do this. He said, try me 10 days. And pray, Lord, I don't want to eat the king food. And I don't want the oblation possibly. That was served to our gods also. But let me do this. Just let me eat the vegetables. Praise the Lord. And in 10 days you look at us and you try us and measure up against the others. He said, well, okay, we'll do that. And after 10 days he went to visit himself, oh yeah, to the official. And those boys' countenance was more firmer and stronger than those, oh yeah, that ate the king meat and drank the king wine. I dare you to try God. You don't have to cheat in nothing. Am I right about it? I say you don't have to cheat, but all you got to do is just hold on. I said hold on. Hard against the authority. Just prove me. That's all. Amen. Just let me for 10 days eat this pulse, and then you look at us and then judge us. Praise the Lord. But their countenance was more fairer than those others. Yeah. Praise the Lord. Isn't that something? And not only that, but even their testing time. I believe that when they went before the king, their knowledge, and they had to understand, and they had to study the languages and speak the languages of the Chaldean, of the Babylonians. Isn't that certain? Praise the Lord. You know, it becomes so hard sometimes. I read in, I think, 137 number of the book of Psalms. And it talks about how they sat down, we sat down by the rivers of Babylon. Y'all remember that? By the rivers of Babylon, he said we sat down and we wept when we remembered Zion. Praise the Lord. Y'all remember that in one of the places? Praise the Lord. They desired was that we would sing one of the songs, not desired, but they almost demanded that we sing one of the songs of Zion. They treated them bad and all kind of ways. People are going to treat you bad. I'm right about. You got to have to go through things in life. Oh yeah, they're going to treat you like dirt. But you got to hold on. I'm right about. They're going to conspire against you, but you got to hold on. Praise the Lord. You have to talk about it, but you got to hold on. I said you got to hold on. Oh yeah, you don't know what I've been through. Praise the Lord, you don't know what I've been doing. Glory to God. I want you to know this. That the Lord that I serve, He's able. I said the God that I serve, He's able. He's able to raise your hand. Yeah. time, but we, you know, we're going to have a mindset. And not a worldly mindset. I'm talking about a spiritual mindset. All right? Get your mind on the Lord. Now, everything's not going to go the way you want it to go. It's not going to be pieces of cream every day. Anyway, no, it's not going to be. But God has placed something on the inside of us.
That's right.
Hey, the Lord, how I got it on the inside? How do you tell the devil, I will not defile myself? How many of you told the devil, I will not defile myself? I'm going to hold on. I'm going to hold on. Yeah, Lord. I have to cry sometimes. Weeping may endure the night. That's what my Bible says. Weeping may endure the night. But joy, I said joy doesn't depend on the happenings. That's happiness.
That's right.
Joy is a state of mind. Joy is on the inside. Praise the Lord. Can you say yeah? Yeah, that's why a lot of us lose our God, because we depend on the happenings, but it's not according to that. Joy is one of the graces that God has given us. And it's down on the inside. And when the tears begin to flow, praise